Howdy, Summers. I wanted to build with the new kits, and my favorite item out of everything that we got is that TV from the Casanova Cave kit, and I thought a modern house is the perfect setting for this TV. Also, don't mind the way I'm dressed, it's early in the morning and cold. But yeah, this entire build is inspired by me wanting to use this new TV. So, I built a modern home, and I think a lot of people know that most modern homes are like these huge modern mansions. I don't do big builds, and I've done a few in the past. I have built like a very large modern home before, but that's not my vibe. I'm not confident in building large builds, so this is a small modern home. And that does mean that I had to look at reference photos. When I build modern homes, I typically do anyway, just because modern is not typically the style that I go for. I don't really know how you would describe my style of building, but it's not modern. So, yeah, but I used an inspiration photo just for the color scheme. I didn't necessarily like make it look exact, but there was some heavy inspiration involved in there. And I actually really like how it came out. So we've got some stone, we have this like black wood, and also some like brown wood paneling, and I don't know. I really like how it came out though, and I think by the end of this you'll like how it turned out too. But unfortunately, I did want this to be a little bigger than it ended up being. I wanted this to be at least 2 bedrooms, and it did end up only being a 1 bedroom house. So this is basically a modern home for a couple. It's expensive though. So definitely like a rich couple. And even though it is a small house, I still had a really hard time figuring out like the layout and such. We get there eventually, but oh my gosh. So the stairs were giving me some issue, firstly. And then I was like, I didn't know if I wanted to keep everything closed off or what. The kitchen ends up being open. I really like open concept. I don't know why. I just typically do. IRL, I don't know how I feel about everything being so open. I don't like stuff being closed off necessarily, but I don't know if I want just like constant walk in everywhere, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. I guess it just depends on the house, really. But like, my house is not really open concept at all. There's walls everywhere, and it's okay. I don't hate it. My house is my house. But I don't know. I guess it depends on the type of house, whether or not I prefer open concept or closed off. Anyway, this house also does not have an actual like dining room, so there's that. But we do have like an office, a private office kind of in this house, and it's really nice, I think. We also have kind of an upstairs hangout section and a huge ish backyard. So it's coming together, okay? So I know it may not seem super cool, but I am actually like really happy with how this build turned out. So, and I'm doing something I don't typically do, which is I actually am only using the wallpapers that I used on the outside. I did not use like any wallpaper or anything. I didn't do any like fun colors. Because to me, modern is very like clean, I guess, and I think a lot of people can kind of feel that way as well. Most of the time, walls are just white in modern houses. Like, I don't, I don't think a lot of people expect it to be like multicolored or anything. But for this purpose, we are using the same colors that we use on the outside, the same kind of stuff, and I think it works. We got the giant TV in here, and yeah, we got the new couch from the Casanova Cave kit. I think I use a lot of stuff from like Casanova Cave, and I also do use some stuff from the Comfy Gamer kit that Lil Simsy worked with the team on. I can't be sure. Like, I don't remember if I used the Secret Sanctuary kit at all in this build. If I'm being honest, I don't think I ended up using anything from it. Um, I don't know why the Casanova Cave kit gives me such modern vibes, because obviously the idea of it is it's supposed to be like a man cave, not a modern thing. But I don't know. So this footage is a little long, I will say. But I spend so much time trying to get the vibes of what a modern house really is because I don't typically look at modern homes. I don't typically build this stuff. So I'm like, okay. But for the most part, I did have some luck with like modern things because firstly, Dream Home Decorator is like the most modern when it comes to decor kind of stuff. Like the kitchen set's obviously very modern. Just the furniture in general from there is very stylistic, I think. So I use that at least for the kitchen. I'm sure I pulled it for something else too. I don't really know. But yeah, I did do a thing by the way. So I did this out of habit. Um, I put the money trash can into this house because I was like, you know what, this might be a thing that modern people would have, rich people would have a trash can that just gives you more money when you throw stuff away. But despite that, I still put a big trash can in the back of the house. So I don't know why, because you don't need to take the trash out with this money trash can. It just like gets destroyed basically, and that's how you get money from it. So there was no reason for me to put a big trash can, but I did anyway because that's just what I do typically. Most of the time I put just a regular trash can that Sims will need to take the trash out still. So my brain just whatever. So we are working on the office now, and there is so much space here. I decided to do this detailing thing that I do sometimes when I don't really know what to do with walls, which is I grab these like wood panel design things, and I think they come in a few packs at this point, but I think these ones are from Eco Lifestyle. And I just kind of put them along the wall to give the wall a little bit of detail. And it's nice, it's fun, and I think it's something that would still work in modern homes. Like that's not something that's too far fetched that like throws off the whole vibe and mood of the house. Like I don't know. I think it works. And the office is where we kind of get into some comfy gamer stuff. We got the rug from the pack. We also have the headset there, and that might actually be it. So, yeah, I use a lot of packs in this. I never deny that. I don't typically do limited house builds or anything like I limited house builds, limited pack builds. Um and I don't know. I should do that more, but I also have all the packs and why would I not use them? Like I do understand why it's frustrating and I do need to do more limited pack builds. So that is on the agenda for this year is just to kind of do more of those. But for the most part, I do build with just every pack that I have, which is basically all of them. So I apologize for that. But we're moving on to the upstairs finally. I feel like I worked on the downstairs forever. I think the exterior and the downstairs section took me a lot of time. I will say, I had to stop this recording so many times. Uh, because the day that I was working on this build, I was making chili. Um, and I have to stir that thing every 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes that I'd be building, because it takes me like an hour or so to build things most of the time, I would have to stop the recording to go stir and then start the recording back up again while I continue doing stuff. So it's like, it took me a little longer than usual because I'm out of like my focus for a little bit and I have to try to get back into it and remember what I'm doing, what I'm thinking. It's a whole thing. So don't make food that you have to constantly monitor when you're working on like stuff like this cuz oh my gosh, I think I had to break the footage into like 7 different recordings and then put it all together in my editing before I started working on this. Just oh my gosh, so many times of just standing up and sitting back down and ugh. But the main like hallway section up here, I didn't really know what to do. So we've got a couple mirrors and just a little like table with some art and whatever else. And then we only have one tiny bathroom. And I can't remember. No, I did not end up doing this. I wanted to put a bathtub in front of the window originally, but the layout just was not going to work for that case. Like, I wanted the toilet to not be in front of the windows, as well as the shower. So the shower nook, just, yeah. Nothing allowed for a bathtub in front of that window. But the bedroom, I believe we're using a bed from Vintage Glamour, which I know is not modern at all because obviously vintage is literally in the name, but it still kind of gives off like modern fancy vibes to me. And I don't know, this rich couple that I have in my head is very like just gold everything, doesn't care about expenses really. I think this house ends up being like 73,000 simoleons, something along those lines. So definitely not a starter home. Uh, I feel like there's possibility for me to have a comment on my page about how expensive it is because that has happened before. I built a house once that was kind of on the small side, but a little pricey, maybe? Or I didn't think it was that pricey, and someone said too expensive on the thing, and I was like, I think it was like a 40,000 simoleon house or something. It's like, okay, so not a starter home is too expensive. Got it. But yeah, I don't. Ugh. It is what it is. Moving to our balcony here, we have a kind of picnic blanket, woohoo blanket, if you will, from Lovestruck, and then a telescope and some potted plants. So, well, not really potted plants, planters that you can do stuff with. And then these people are rich because they have a hot tub and a pool. So I wanted to make kind of a nice outdoor space. I figured, yeah, it's a couple. It's not a big house or anything, but they are rich and they probably have a lot of friends who are rich too. So they all come out here to hang out and party or whatever. You know, they hang out in the hot tub or the pool. They have an outdoor kitchen, which I don't typically do outdoor kitchens like ever. But I swear we had some countertops that were supposed to go with that grill from the Desert Lux kit and I can't find them if they exist. So, um, I think we're just using one from base game for that. But yeah. And then I think the last little bit, we're getting some lounge chairs, and then I believe we move on to landscaping very shortly. Correct me if I'm, well, you can't correct me if I'm wrong. You don't know what's coming yet. But no, I'm just getting lights around now. And I do remember to paint the ceilings, and the landscaping is fairly minimal, I think, but still kind of nice. You guys should know this by now. I'm not confident in my landscaping skills. I'm not like super great at them, so I do just a little bit to kind of tie me over. Um, but yeah, we have a path to the house. I use actual terrain paint to make a path, and then I just do my basic kind of all around the house. We'll add in some trees and whatever else. And I can't remember if there's anything else I really do here. So, yeah, I'm trying to match it in with the environment as much as possible. So we've got these like evergreen trees and just some other stuff. And yeah, that is basically it. So I think I'm going to hop into the game now and I will show you the build. So here's the house in all its glory. I really do think this came out really nice. Like, I'm so happy with this. I built this in Newcrest. So because I was trying to figure out like what world felt modern to me, and Newcrest was kind of the only one because it's more of a blank slate. Like, you can turn it into any style you want. But we've got some front landscaping happening, and I feel like particularly on this side, there's a little too much happening, so I apologize for that. But let's head this way. We've got the nice stone detail over here. And then we have our front door here. And we have the choice to kind of just like walk right into the backyard if we wanted. But looking over this way, we've got our living room. So the nice big TV, which was the whole inspiration for this build. We have the couch there. I didn't put anything on that table, I realize. Oh well. I like it. I think that this is really, really nice. We have our kitchen over here. And we do have a small little eating section here with the island. And then through this door is our office here. So we've got big windows into this office. You can sit down, look straight out at the neighborhood, get a nice view of kind of the tree, and I think that's a river out there. I can't tell. It might be a giant pond or something. We've got a bookshelf. We have that detailing on the back here. And just a little bit of stuff going on over here. Let's go ahead and go out to the backyard before we head upstairs. So out here we have just a couple lounge chairs. It's completely closed off from the outside. So got a nice pool, the hot tub over there, and then our little eating section. We even have a drink tray out here, so that way guests can be served like lemonade and such. And then heading upstairs, on our landing zone here, we have the double mirrors that go all the way up. Then our little, just kind of art section. There's a little seating thing over here. We got a cute little cat planter. And just some more things. And here is the bathroom. Nothing super fancy. And then through here is the master bedroom. Got the fancy end tables. I can't remember if these are from Vintage Glamour or not, but I feel like they match really well with the bed. So if they are from separate packs, there's that. We have a little book here that's actually kind of clipping on with the clock. Let's ignore that. We've got our dresser and a little funky mirror. And then we have this nice view also of that area. And then our last kind of space is just this little outdoor activity balcony. So blanket, planters, and the telescope. And that is the full house. So I hope you guys like it. I think that it is one of my best builds, honestly. Like, I'm really happy with this. I'm trying to get this on the gallery for you guys, but right now it is not having it. So whenever I do get this up, it will be called the Mini Modern, and you'll be able to find it under TheSimmingKoalaa with 2 A's at the end. So if you are interested in downloading this, maybe keep an eye out for when this does upload. I'll probably put out like a tweet or something, or I'll post somewhere that this is up on the gallery if I remember. But right now, it's just not having it. It won't connect to the gallery. I don't know what's up. I hope you all like the build. As I've stated, I don't really do a lot of like modern builds in general. But if you guys want more of these, let me know. And if you have any build suggestions, let me know in the comments as well. I have a lot of free time. I really like building, and that's like kind of the main thing that I do in The Sims now. I do still do like gameplay and such in my own time, but I have been really into building lately, like more than usual, because I already enjoy building in The Sims, but I don't know. I think those new kids have just given me some inspiration for building recently, and I want to kind of get used to them a little bit more. So yeah. But again, let me know if you like the build, and with that, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you have notifications on so you don't miss anything. Be sure to follow my socials. Links are below. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.